Hello and welcome back to the FCS Football channel and welcome back to another match preview, this time for the Manchester United versus West Ham United game, of course at Old Trafford. Now Manchester United come into this game off the back of what was an incredible 2-0 victory over Manchester City in our last league game. Or if we're looking for our most recent game in general, that would be our 1-0 draw with AC Milan where we conceded a last minute goal thanks to what I would say is a Dean Henderson mistake. West Ham come into this game placed 5th. 2 points behind Chelsea in 4th place. I believe it's now 3 points since they drew with Leeds with 2 games in hand. So West Ham could climb above Chelsea if they were to win today. In the last game, West Ham beat Leeds United 2-0. And like I said, there's only 3 points separating West Ham to the top 4. And there's only 6 points separating West Ham to us. And of course, they do have a game in hand over us. So if they win today, then win their game in hand, they will be level on points with us. So this isn't going to be an easy game, especially when you consider our injury news and our current injury record. Currently, in midfield, we've got Paul Pogba, Donny van der Beek, Juan Mata, all still out. We look at the front line. Martial, he looks like he's going to be out. Same with Marcus Rashford and same with Edinson Cavani. Potentially Martial and Rashford could be fit. But it's going to be very, very nip and tuck. It's going to be close. It's going to be hit and miss. So I don't think we can rely on them being fit. So it's going to be a really, really tough game. On a brighter news, David De Gea has returned to Manchester after his wife gave birth, which is good. However, we're unsure whether he will be able to play in this game or not due to having to quarantine and self-isolate. There's reports that he probably will be able to play, but he won't play because of a lack of training, of course, while he's been out. So Dean Henderson probably will start this game. And speaking about Dean Henderson, I do want to talk about that mistake he made against AC Milan. Now, I think what Dean Henderson's done this season for us has been fantastic. I think he's been a very, very good goalkeeper. But there's been so much news about Dean Henderson should be Manchester United's number 1. He's better than David De Gea. I think the media agenda and bias towards Dean Henderson over David De Gea is so clear, especially with that goal that AC Milan scored against us in midweek. If David De Gea concedes that, he's getting pounded, he's getting told he's shit, he's getting absolutely slaughtered. Dean Henderson's got nothing. He's got absolutely no abuse. Well, obviously, you don't want abuse, but it's got no criticism at all for it. Where David De Gea he'd be getting thrown out the club. And I think it's this bias. And don't get me wrong, Dean Henderson is a fantastic goalkeeper and potentially could go on become one of the best in the world. But at the moment, I don't think he is. I don't think he's as good as David De Gea. I think a proper top level goalkeeper doesn't concede that goal that Dean Henderson conceded. And look, like I said, I want Dean Henderson to have a long Manchester United career. I don't think he's ready for first team football over David De Gea yet. I don't think he's at that level at the moment. What he's done is fantastic, but is it any different to what we would expect of Sergio Romero to do? Is it? Because Romero had a fantastic record in cups, like Dean Henderson has had. None of us were calling for Sergio Romero to start playing over David De Gea, were we? Because we knew David De Gea was levels above, and we knew cup competitions are easier and you are going to have a better record. But that's just my 2 cents. I like Dean Henderson. I think he's a good goalkeeper. But I think we saw why David De Gea is number 1 and should be number 1. And look, I hope Dean Henderson has a fantastic game against West Ham if he is playing. But I would expect David De Gea to come back in once he's trained a little bit. So maybe for the AC Milan game, probably next week in whatever game that will be. But I don't expect him to play today, David De Gea. And I don't think he should. With that in mind, let's get into the team news. So this is the team I think Manchester United should start. In goal, I've gone for Dean Henderson. Like I said, despite I think David De Gea being our best goalkeeper, I just don't see how you can not play Dean Henderson. David De Gea hasn't been training because he's obviously been out in Spain with his wife. So Dean has to start. And potentially David De Gea might not even be able to play today. So regardless, I think Dean Henderson should be in goal. Back 4, Lindelof, I would say out. We know he's got a slight back injury. Eric Bailly apparently has a slight knock, but he should be absolutely fine. So played Bailly for me. I think Bailly will be better alongside Maguire than Lindelof. I think he allows us to play further on the front foot. As well as that, I think Lindelof will probably play against AC Milan in the Cup because we need to now go to Milan and win. And I think that's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first choice centre-backs and the one he always goes back to when we need to win the game. So, for me, rest Lindelof, give us back a bit more time out, because that's the long-term injuries he's had. That's not just a slight niggle. That's something he's had for a while. So leave Lindelof out, put him on the bench, let Bailly play. If he gets a bad injury or whatever, or that's bad luck. But you kind of have to risk Bailly a bit to allow Lindelof to get fully fit again. But it's kind of the lesser of two evils sort of thing. Then at fullbacks, Wan-Bissaka and Luke Shaw, first choice, go with them, stick them in. We need to win this game. It's not going to be easy. Although I think Telles is good, I don't think you can risk Telles in this game. I don't think you would even risk Telles in the AC Milan game midweek. I think you need your best fullbacks, and Shaw and Wan-Bissaka are definitely them. I don't think Williams can start this game. I don't think he's good enough. I don't think he's paid enough. He can't play. Wan-Bissaka has to play week in, week out, and we're going to see that again today. Double pivot, I think we will go for McTominay and Fred. I'm not opposed to this at all. I think Matic weren't great. And I think you just need some dynamism in that midfield. Get people running. I think Fred and McTominay as a partnership is the best we've got at the moment. I don't think Matic and Fred or Matic and McTominay work really well as a combination. I think Fred and McTominay, they've proven and we've seen time after time that they do work as a combo, so stick with them. And then in the front line, I've gone for Diallo, Dan James, Bruno Fernandes and Mason Greenwood. Like I said, Martial looks like he's going to be out. Same with Rashford, same with Cavani. This is kind of the best of a bad situation. I think Diallo, he obviously came on against AC Milan, got his first goal for the club with a fantastic header. We need to see him play today. I think Dan James missed the sitter, but he has to play. I've gone for Dan James out on the right because I think that's where Dan James plays best. I think he's best when he's not trying to cut in and try and score. When he's trying to beat his man, get a cross in. I think Diallo, he could probably do it on both flanks. We saw him come on the left flank for his debut. I thought he looked really good there. I think he looked really good out on the right. Put him on the left. I think that's a position he can comfortably play. I think Dan James is much better on the right, so I'd play Dan James out on the right. Bruno at 10. Again, first of all, who else are you going to play? Mata's injured. So is Donny van der Beek injured. Bruno has to play there. He's arguably our best player. You have to play him there. And Greenwood at 9. He wants to be a number 9. This is his chance to prove he should be our number 9 in a game where both Cavani and Anthony Martial are both injured. I think it's massively, massively important Bruno Fernandes has a good game today. I think Bruno Fernandes is obviously a key player for us. He's a catalyst. If he plays well, Manchester United play well. And with so many injuries in the midfield and in the front line, he will be the difference for Manchester United. If he plays well, we will play well. If he doesn't, he gets isolated and doesn't get the ball, we will suffer. I think we might lose the game. This is the team I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will go with. I think he will go with the same team as I have selected. Apart from, I think he will go with Lindelof over Bailly. As I said, I think that's just his first choice partnership. However, if Rashford and Martial do pass late fitness tests, either of them, I think they will probably be thrown into the first team. I think especially Rashford, if he passes a late fitness test, he will start over Diallo. And I think if Martial passes a late fitness test, he may well start. But either way, I would rest them both even if they do pass late fitness tests. And if you really need them, bring them on off the bench. But I wouldn't start him in this game. Anyway, just about the game. West Ham won't be an easy game. We saw when we played them at the Olympic Stadium. It was a tough game. We had to bring on the subs to win the game eventually. They're a hard team to beat. And I think they're showing that. And that's why they're so high in the table. We've got a lot of injuries as well. When we played them in the away leg, we had Pogba, we had Bruno, we had Donny van der Beek on the bench. We had Rashford coming on. We had Greenwood come on. Cavani was fit. Martial was fit. A lot of them players we don't have today. We don't have a lot of key or at least fantastic players that he would either be starting this game or be coming off the bench. Like we would say, Donny van der Beek could come off the bench. Obviously, in that game, Rashford came off the bench. Bruno, I believe, came off the bench. I think Donny van der Beek started. These are players that we had in the last game and we utilised, and today we don't have. So it's going to make it a lot harder. I think it's going to be a really, really close game, especially considering West Ham are at full strength. They don't have any real major injuries. Because of that, I think it could go either way. I think we could lose the game and I think we could win the game. I'm going for a 1-1 draw. Of course, if Rashford is fit, if Martial is fit, then my prediction would change. I think we could go on to win it. But I think with that team, with Diallo, with Greenwood, with James, and with Bruno as our front four, and then a midfield two of Fred and McTominay, I think we'll really struggle to create goals and score goals. So 1-0 is going to be my prediction. Anyway, if you have enjoyed, please do hit the like button below and subscribe if you are new and you haven't already. We have just hit over 100 subscribers, so thank you all for that. Your support is greatly appreciated. I am working on 100 million on a 100 subscriber special, so please do tune into that. Anyway, let me know your prediction down below. Make sure you tune into the watch along. Details are on my side. Anyway, I'll see you all in a bit. Have a good one. In a bit. Peace.